All right, welcome back, guys. This is Imagining Tech. Let's go ahead and jump into motion and talk about tokens. So, I want to talk about BTC and EOS. So, recently we've seen EOS's ability through the liquid link to be able to connect to other blockchains such as Ethereum. So, EOS connecting with Ethereum is going to add a plethora of possibilities of what we'll be able to do, and it also gives us a much more decentralized infrastructure, because now all the applications that are being built on Ethereum that might not be able to scale or will not be friendly to users of these applications, they will be able to be executed on the EOS network on a completely feeless high throughput network that will make their applications run a lot more like the applications they're used to interacting with. So this is very bullish for both chains. I've talked about this a little bit in the past in my previous videos. But knowing that this is possible, it got me really thinking and imagining to myself, how long will it be before we see the same thing executed across to the BTC chain? Because Bitcoin is the original blockchain. It is the oldest blockchain. It has the most network effect. It has the most value. I would say it has the most support in the crypto community over any other chain. Everybody usually agrees to buy Bitcoin. There are, people who are on the fringes. And Bitcoin so far has been a bit of an anomaly. Why is it an anomaly? Well, the reason is, I would say that because Bitcoin incorporates so much more than just tech, a lot of people just look at it as a piece of software or a piece of tech. But Bitcoin is also, not only is it just tech, it's philosophy, it's finance, it's economics. Like, it incorporates so much that you can't just look at it as a piece of software, as a piece of tech. Because if you do, you'll make the mistake that a lot of people make. Because I hear a lot of economists say, oh, Bitcoin's no good because of this. And then I hear a lot of techies say, oh, Bitcoin's no good because of this. And it's just like, you have to really, to get the whole picture, to see what Bitcoin is, you just have to take in the whole picture, because it's everything. See, usually in the tech world, what we see is that outdated tech usually gets beaten out. Meaning usually the best products rise to the surface, especially when we're talking about open source. Open source software, usually the best tech rises to the surface and everything else gets pushed to the side. Now, obviously, when it comes to patented technology, that's different. There's red tape, there's regulation, that's government. So that's not a complete free market. You have a manipulated market in a sense, because you're using government power to keep your product at the top. So that's different. But when we're talking about open source software, that seems to be the case and the trend. So from a technical standpoint, that bothers a lot of big people, a lot of tech people when it comes to Bitcoin. Economically, a lot of the economic majors don't like Bitcoin because they say it has no intrinsic value. They say that because it exists online, you can't really do anything with it. But what they fail to realize is that there are millions of people who interact with the Bitcoin blockchain every single day, which give it value. To me, a blockchain, after all, is just a distributed database. And as I've said in my previous videos, a distributed database is incredibly valuable because it can't be shut down. And data is one of the most powerful assets of the 21st century. So, knowing that the liquid link is going to be able to scale BTC very soon, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I mean, definitely I think it's a great thing, but it just changes so much. It just changes so much because now people will be able to have their digital gold on the EOS network. So people will be able to hold their Bitcoin, and now it can sort of take on the application of a peer-to-peer transactional currency, like was originally intended in the Satoshi white paper. Because in the Satoshi white paper, that's what Bitcoin was supposed to be, a peer-to-peer currency, a free network that nobody could shut down. But it kind of turned into this digital gold function because of Bitcoin's inability to scale. But now that we have the ability to scale on the EOS network, I think it's positive for both parties. I really do. I think the EOS community, it's great for them because they get to showcase how powerful the technology really has become, and they get to bring all those Bitcoin users onto the EOS network. And then for Bitcoin, it's like they get to move their crypto token onto the EOS network. So in a sense, I guess that makes the Bitcoin blockchain definitely not obsolete, because it's still you still need the miners to do what the miners do, and there still can only be 21 million tokens. So none of that really changes. So that's actually false. The blockchain is still very powerful. It is still very decentralized. In fact, I would say Bitcoin is the most decentralized cryptocurrency, and I've actually said that before, just because nobody knows who the creator is. No other blockchain can make that claim. Like, nobody knows who the real Satoshi is. So nobody can bribe him, nobody can threaten him, nobody can, get him to come out and make a statement that could ultimately sway the chain or make the chain less secure in any way. So Bitcoin is the most decentralized blockchain that we have today. So you mix the most decentralized blockchain that we have today and put digital gold on the fastest network that we have today. Yeah, I like that. That's a good look. That's a good look for both parties. I'm super excited about it. I was talking to Benny in the Telegram, one of the founders of Liquid Apps and Liquid EOS. Really smart guy. I'm a big fan of all the work that the whole team is doing. And he told me not only is it possible, it is on the roadmap. So it's going to happen, and that's going to be monumental. Like, there's so many things that are in the pipeline right now for EOS that are just going to bring so much attention to the space that it's like, it could be anything. Like, I think, because like I said, right now we're all just kind of in our own isolated think tanks in a sense. EOS community, Ethereum community, Bitcoin community, boom, 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 Neo, Cardano, all these different blockchains. But I think these are the first steps. I think EOS is leading the way when it comes to sort of connecting those think tanks. And that is going to be huge and very pivotal, I believe. Once everybody starts really working together, I think the bad projects will have to fall off, because it'll kind of be like, get in where you fit in. And the more grand vision is starting to become a lot more clear. So I think that will make the market a lot stronger, because the bad altcoins will just go to zero, and the ones that truly have value towards a decentralized Web 3.0, where we can have free and secure data and free and secure money and free and secure governance, I think is just awesome, and I think we're on the way there. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. Like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hashtag DEX only. Keep this hashtag going. I'm trying to use only decentralized exchanges for the rest of the year. So hashtag DEX only. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one.